Hi, welcome to the Health and Wellness Pick a Card reading. So, I decided to do a pick a card reading for health and wellness advice from Spirit. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor, so don't be like, oh, I watched this pick a card reading and, this is advice. Now, it may or may not resonate. Maybe none of the piles will resonate, but I thought it would be interesting to see what advice we receive for our health. Now, the way the pick a card readings work for those who are new to this is you don't have to watch the entire video. I will put timestamps below in my notes so that you can click on the timestamp and go directly to the pile that you want to pick. You don't have to sit through the entire video and listen to all of the piles because you're going to have advice that's specifically for the pile or piles that you choose. I usually choose one or two piles, but this is for health and wellness. These are recommendations from Spirit. I received channeled messages on some cards that I handwritten, and I'm combining it with the energy tarot and the traditional Rider-Waite tarot advice, but it's from the Crow Tarot deck. So I'm going to just show you the four piles and tell you which piles they are. And you can pause the video and pick the pile that you want. Or you can, sometimes you may hear a number in your head. There are four piles. So you may say in your head, oh, I already know I want pile 3. Or you may be a visual person and you may want to look at the colors. Maybe something about the items that I put on each pile will resonate. But look at the piles or decide now, which pile that you want. And then go below into my notes and click on the timestamp and it'll take you directly to that part of the video. So you don't have to listen to the whole video. Okay, so here are the four piles for the health and wellness pick a card. So we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, I'm going to say that again. So we have pile 1 is the blue butterfly, pile 2 is the green succulent, pile 3 is the orange butterfly, and pile 4 is the orange and yellow succulent. Okay, so those are the piles for the health and wellness read. All right, so make your selection. And I'm going to go ahead and begin for reading all of the piles. So I'm going to go ahead and put my phone on my tripod and we will begin our reading. Okay. So I am Transcendent. I am Kismet. This is my channel, Transcendent Kismet. And I do weekly tarot advice reads. I do channeled advice from Spirit, from Source, and I am a Reiki practitioner. I have a company called Hope and Cookies, and the company is about providing wellness, self-care items, cookies, of course, and we are looking to officially have a location soon here in South Florida. So just to give you a little bit about myself, I have been reading tarot and practicing Reiki. Well, I've been doing tarot for about 3 years now, and so I'm kind of new to it, but I am an intuitive. I am extremely what I consider a seer. I am clear cognizant, which means I have clear knowing, and I receive messages in dreams. So I am an astral dream person who receives messages from Spirit through dreams as well. So I'm big on healing. I'm big on empowerment. I'm big on transformation and growth. That's why I named my channel Transcendent Kismet, because it is important to transcend the everyday, the day-to-day stuff that, we don't want to get too weighed down with. We want to make sure we're finding the lesson. So I'm also an astrology geek, an astrology nerd. I will be offering astrology charts soon. and as part of my packages on my website, www.hopeandcookies.com. So, okay, so let's begin. So here is the blue butterfly pile, okay? We're gonna start with this one. So let's see what we have here. So I pre-shuffled before the video, and I have the 4 piles here, and let's see. So the first advice that we have is cut out alcohol. So anybody in this pile who has issues with alcohol, you're going to need to cut these out. You need to cut it out. That's the advice from Spirit. Stop drinking alcohol. Less caffeine. It's not saying you shouldn't have any caffeine, but you want to, take it down a notch, not have too much caffeine, because it's obviously affecting your health. So you don't want to have too much caffeine. So have less caffeine. You might want to check out your kidneys. Make sure your kidneys are up to par. Next time you go to the doctor, you want to check out your kidneys, or look into things that are going to give you a healthy kidney in terms of a kidney diet, a healthy kidney diet. Maybe start eating those foods. Look into any joint issues you may have, with your knees and your elbows. Maybe you've been having issues with your knees and your elbows and things of that nature. Also, your nervous system. You might want to start looking into issues with your nervous system and how you can correct that with, more meditation, yoga, things of that nature that are going to help that. Sinus issues. Maybe you've been having sinus issues. Those who pick this pile may be having issues with their sinuses. So you may also want to look into that. And your these are right together too. The sexual organs and reproductive system. So both of these, you may want to go to either, a doctor who handles that for men, prostate health, or for women, you go to make sure you book a gynecological visit if you can, as soon as possible, or see a doctor about it. Stay on top of your eyesight. Make sure you don't have any issues. Go see an eye doctor if you need to. And you may want to get a brain scan. Maybe you've been having headaches. If you've been having neurological issues, maybe for your own sake and for your own health safety, you may want to get a brain scan and see how that goes. These are together too. And this is just like coincidence. Weight training, too much sitting, metabolic disorder. Metabolic disorder is something really to look into, because when you're sitting too much, you're not getting up and walking enough. Metabolic syndrome can actually affect your heart. It's actually a syndrome. So like if you're sitting at a desk all day, or you're just sitting too much, it's too much sitting, you need to be more active. You need to get up and walk around every hour. Even if it's just a short walk, go and walk, down the hall and back, but you need to move around more. And also lastly, the last advice for this pile is colon and intestine issues. Okay, so you may be having some colon issues, some digestive problems, with your intestinal tract. Maybe there's some foods you need to cut out. So that goes back to the kidney diet, making sure you're eating properly. Now, the advice from the energy and from the tarot, we have all tied up and the world. Okay, so these 2 cards together let me know that maybe anxiety is at the root of this. Maybe you're too wrapped up in the issues of the world. You see, all tied up. You're too wrapped up in things that are out of your control. And that's a root issue. And even in Reiki, we learn that, the root issues of things. Another good resource is a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. She talks about how things that manifest as health issues come from a root issue that we may be dealing with. And this advice is that you are too tied up, too concerned about things that are out of your control. You can't control the whole world. You can barely control your own little world, because things happen that are out of our control, and it's best to surrender. So the advice is to surrender. Surrender, control what you can control. Look into these issues. Okay, maybe write them down when you listen to the pile again. Write them down in your journal and discuss them with your doctor. Or look into changing your diet or making the necessary changes in your life. And control what you have control over. let go of what you don't. Like they say, wisdom is knowing what you have control over and what you don't, and knowing the difference and that sort of thing. And then we have here the same thing, following up with the same advice, is the Temperance angel and the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords tells me that, for me, the way I read this is when you start to get those thoughts that come into your mind about worry and things that you have no control over that you need to surrender. Temperance talks about being balanced. I think temperance is about finding balance and aligning, yourself with things, within yourself over things that you have no control over, and just being in alignment, learning when to surrender and when to be in control and when to surrender, and having a balance of those two things. And then the last advice is the Four of Wands from the traditional tarot. Now the Four of Wands, let me see what the Four of Wands has to do with. I'm going to do a quick read here so I don't get this wrong, but the Four of Wands is about celebrations. Okay. See, the artwork's a little different on this one. Yeah, so the Four of Wands is about celebrations. They're actually singing. The crows are actually singing. There's a fountain there. There's flowers. In the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, the Four of Wands is about a time of celebration, right? Peace and harmony. And again, so that goes right back to the Temperance. That goes hand in hand with the Temperance. And the world, and all tied up, is finding harmony by meditating, by doing things that are going to bring you into balance, okay? And understanding that you don't have control over the whole world, and it's okay to let go of things you have no control over. Surrender through prayer, through meditation, affirmations, whatever you have to do to get yourself in a place where you can let go and let God, okay? But also look into some of those health issues that I've mentioned earlier. You can always click on the timestamp again and write them down, and then talk to your doctor about it, or look up diets that you can begin to see how it affects you going forward, okay? So now I'm going to pile number 2, okay? Pile number 2 is the green succulent, okay? And we are going to dig into this pile. So let's see what advice we have for pile number 2. So the health advice that was channeled for me, number 1, very important, drive carefully, be alert, okay? This one's hard for me too. Don't text and drive, but be alert. You can't control other drivers, obviously, but drive cautiously. Don't drive fast if you don't need to. Like, where are you rushing to? It's better to arrive alive. It's not necessary to speed all the time. It's just reckless. Cut out dairy. So the advice is cut out dairy. If you've been eating too much cheese and milk and things of that nature, it's probably best for you to cut it out. It's not doing a good thing to your body, is the advice from Spirit. Look into if you're having any thyroid issues. So the thyroid, again, I'm not a doctor, but, I'm big on health and wellness, obviously, as a healer. So you want to look into any thyroid issues. And again, that has a lot to do with our diets. And right behind it, digestive issues. So maybe you've been having digestive issues that are connected to your thyroid. You may want to talk to your doctor about thyroids. I'm not big on always taking a bunch of medicines and stuff, but if some of the medicines are necessary, I take medications, that have helped me a lot. But I also follow it up with making a lot of dietary changes. And the older you get, it's just kind of par for the course, But stay on top of your digestive issues, and cutting out dairy is probably going to help your digestive and your thyroid issues. Start journaling and painting. Journaling and or painting, or both. This is a good form of meditation for those in this group. So if you are already journaling, great. Spirit this is how you know this is your pile, because you are journaling. And if you are already journaling and not painting, maybe you should start painting. Or if you're not doing both either, you should pick up both, because there's different forms of meditations for everyone. For this pile, this is a good form of meditation for connecting with your inner self, for connecting with spirit, to get you into that mindset where you can be reflective and connect deeper than the regular day to day. Other advice is more stretching. So you haven't been doing enough stretching, and that brings me to like yoga. It doesn't have to be yoga though. It doesn't have to be like this structured practice. It's just, maybe that when you get up in the morning, you can just do some basic stretches every morning. That is going to help your body to kind of be more flexible and get some of the kinks out, and also help your state of mind, and so many other things that stretching does actually do for our bodies. If you're having skin issues, you may want to, talk to a dermatologist if you can, and if not, look into them. Especially if you have a mole. If you have some sort of a mole or something like that, you may want to look into that and see what it is. It could be representative of something else, but definitely look into any skin issues that that you may be having. If there's something that just popped up, weirdly, or it could just be as simple as changing your skincare regimen. Maybe you should go to things that are more natural, maybe not commercial soaps. There's a lot of great products out there. I have some great products. Shameless plug, www.hopeandcookies.com. I have some great completely natural products that I make right in my kitchen that are completely healthy and natural. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I am one for wholeness, healthness, and something I would give to my friend and my own children. So reduce stress. So if you're over obligated, you're taking on too much, you are trying to conquer the world, you're ambitious, and I totally resonate with that. You have these goals, you have these lofty ideals, some of them can be cut out. Prioritize what's important. Some obligations that you're putting on yourself, some burdens, maybe somebody else can help you out with it. Maybe you can delegate it. And if you can afford it, maybe it's a luxury you should pay somebody else to do. It will help you out in reducing your stress, so that you can enjoy life a little bit more. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Every day should not be a struggle. Every day should not be a burden, because there's so much to enjoy about life. Change your diet. So again, we're back to change your diet, taking out dairy, looking into thyroid type of a diet, because that could be affecting your skin as well. And also stay on top of your heart and stop smoking. Okay. Because these two things, I feel intuitively that they are connected. If you are smoking, you really, really need to look into quitting the habit. It's hard. There's all kinds of smoking, because even if you smoke marijuana, which I am a big advocate for weed, yes, I think marijuana is actually good for you. It actually helps you. The cannabidols from the cannabis, we actually have a system in our body that it helps regulate so many different things. But maybe you don't have to smoke it. Maybe you can take it as an herbal supplement. Maybe you can get candy, learn how to make edibles or something like that. But it's affecting your heart, so you want to cut it out. Okay. Look into any feet and foot issues that you may be having. Okay. Take care of your feet. They take care of you every day. They take you everywhere you need to go. But look into any foot or feet issues you may have. Maybe you can go see a reflexologist. That's something that's pretty cool. And look into talk therapy as well. There's so many resources out there for a therapist. Maybe there's some things going on in your head that you need to look into. Or heart could also be figuratively, like things that are in your heart that you need to get out of your heart. Maybe you're not connecting with your heart chakra and you need to talk it out with someone, like a professional. Okay. And you also need to clean it up. Okay. Clean it up. There's some messes somewhere. And it doesn't have to be your physical home. It could be clean it up in terms of your daily routine. It could be in terms of your credit. Clean it up is the advice from Spirit. So you know what it is. With this pile, whoever picked this pile, you already know what you need to clean up and stay on top of, okay? And it also says look into any joint problems. So if you're having joint problems, maybe there's a supplement you can look into. You talk to your doctor about any joint problems that you're having. Okay, let's see what advice we have from the Tarot. So the Tarot, along with those, is the Lovers and the Chariot. So the Chariot is about determination, moving forward, driving forward, the path to success, getting in your chariot and riding up that mountain to champion and win, right? And the Lovers is about love relationships in all forms, okay? But primarily romantically. So maybe there's a romantic relationship that's affecting your heart that you need to find balance in, okay? Talk to a therapist about things like that. But the advice is that also, if you are overly obligated because of this love relationship, you need to cut out some of those obligations. It's affecting you. It's affecting your health. So that's the advice from Spirit on that. And then we have advice from the Energy Oracle. So we are encouraged here to look at your third chakra. So here we are, the third chakra. This is a synchronicity because the third chakra is your heart chakra, okay? Actually, no, the third chakra is your sacral, your solar plexus chakra. See where he's holding it there? That's your abdomen. The solar plexus has to do with your self, your sense of self, your self-esteem, things of that nature. So again, knowing the root of a lot of issues has to do with emotional things sometimes. So you want to look into self-esteem issues, knowing how to build your self-confidence. Keep believing in yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Know that you can accomplish the things that you need to. Know that you're not running out of time and that you are great. You are enough. Doing affirmations, things of that nature. Maybe that's some of the stuff that you can journal, some affirmations that you can do every day to help you with your solar plexus to build that. The color yellow, the crystal citrine. Here we have one right here. This is a great crystal for self-esteem, for your solar plexus chakra. Yellow crystals, yellow foods. Okay, wearing the color yellow. The angel of balance and storm warning. Okay, so the angel of balance is about, obviously, balance. This, to me, corresponds with the temperance card on the tarot. So temperance is about balance. It's about getting support from our angels and support from source to align ourselves and know, not to go to extremes, to stay balanced and level, grounded, and practical. Storm warning has to do with the fact that maybe you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Maybe things are going good and you are like, okay, things are going too good. Something's going to happen. You know what I mean? And having a mindset like that is not healthy because, yes, life has its ups and downs. And I have learned that whatever may come, you deal with it then and there. But waiting for the other shoe to drop takes away from the enjoyment of the moment. Live in the now. So that's the advice, is to live in the now. Ask for help from your angels to stay balanced and stay balanced. Don't go striving so much in your chariot that you sacrifice sleep all the time and you're not eating properly and you're eating crazy and making messes and stuff like that. No. Or driving crazy because you're in a rush in your chariot, because again, the chariot also has to do with car and transportation and travel. So, slow down, stay in balance, stay in harmony. Don't go out of balance. Find the balance. You don't need to go to extremes to achieve or to accomplish anything. You are enough just the way that you are. Your gifts and your talents, use them from a place of love, because that's another thing. The Lover's card brings to mind is the love we have within ourselves. We can't be in a great relationship with anyone else if we're not in a great relationship with ourselves. And a lot of times we think that we are and we are not. And so it's time to do some journaling, some painting, some meditation, some prayer to self-reflect and see. Okay, so now we are going to pile number 3. Okay, so this pile is the orange butterfly. Okay, it's not a monarch, but it's really pretty. And we're going to get advice from Spirit on health issues for pile number 3. So let's see what this pile is saying here. So we have the advice here to write affirmations and have positive self-talk. Okay, so maybe those who chose this pile, you have been saying things to yourself that are negative, and you have a negative mind frame inside of you. There could be things that you're not aware of or conscious of that you're saying to your own self, like, gosh, I'm so stupid, or what a dumbass I am, or you know what I mean? And sometimes you're not even aware of how you speak to your own self. You should talk to yourself with the same love and support that you would give to your best friend or your child. Well, hopefully you would give to your best friend, your child, because if you're not speaking positive, period, then that's the problem. You need to start working on affirmations every day, maybe several times a day, until you can rewire those thought processes that are, you'd be surprised how it affects your health and your state of mind when you talk negatively about yourself or about life. Like, I'll never be able to do that. I'll never get this right. I'm just going to keep messing up. Those are limiting beliefs, and they're not true. They're true if you say them to yourself and you believe them, but you don't have to live like that. So work on affirmations and positive self-talk. Stop worrying. So this pile is definitely in their head a lot. You're in your head a lot, worrying, having negative thought processes, saying negative things about yourself. In your head a lot. Insomnia. Get some rest. Get some sleep. There are some great herbal resources for getting sleep. You have lemon balm tea. You have chamomile tea. You have lavender tea. You have a great one that I've recently discovered is something called kava from, they have the tea everywhere at all the supermarkets, but you can order it online. It's called kava, Kava. Of course, I'm not a big person for melatonin, actually, because melatonin is a little bit different. I feel like it's lab created. It's not natural. If you get enough sunlight and you get, follow the correct biorhythms, you can, naturally use it. And I'm not a big advocate for alcohol to fall asleep. It's good to have a glass of red wine. Red wine is good for you, but not to go to sleep. There are some great herbal allies for that. Like I said, you have chamomile, you have lemon balm, you have lavender, you have kava. These are all great herbs to help you get some rest. But it is important to get some rest. Even if you just force yourself to stay in bed, Netflix and chill. Don't be like, oh, I'm being lazy. I could be doing this. I can do that. No, you're doing something for your body. You're doing something for your health. Okay, drink more water. You're not drinking enough water, and that also contributes to that. So whatever amount that you're drinking, add an extra 8 or 16 ounces, okay? They say you should be drinking half an ounces of your body weight. So like if I'm 180, I should be drinking like 90 ounces of water a day, at least 80 to 90 ounces of water today. So that's a factor that they say to do. Meditate. Meditate will help a lot of this active stuff that you have going on in your brain. There's some great, so many guided meditations on YouTube that you can listen to. You can do a 5-minute meditation. You can do a 10-minute meditation. You don't have to take a long time. You can do it different times throughout the day. Set a timer on your phone and say, you know what, I'm going to meditate at 11. I'm going to take a break if I'm at work, or if you're at home or with the kids or whatever, if someone can help out, or if the kids are napping. So I'm going to do a 5-minute meditation, but do a guided meditation at first. And there's a lot of other ways to meditate. You can go for a walk where you just focus on that walk, on whatever's right in front of you. Say, I'm just going to go on a meditative walk and only look, at things right in front of you. Say, oh, there are green leaves on that tree and that tree is shaped tall. Focus, look at all the different aspects of everything that's right in front of you so that you can, ground yourself. Walk in the grass, take your shoes off, walk in the grass, walk on the sand, feel the earth beneath your feet. That's earthing. That's a form of meditation as well. Yoga. So again, yoga and meditation. Yoga Now, it's different than stretching because yoga is about learning the different types of forms and how it affects your bodies, the different sutras and things of that nature. So you can put all of that intellect that you have to use by learning, learning a practice like yoga. You don't have to become an expert overnight, so don't pressure yourself. But maybe you could start with just hatha and learning 5 or 6 poses that, you constantly do and learn what it does for your body. Try a vegan diet. Again, your diet is contributing to your overthinking. So, you can switch to going vegan, cutting out meat, cutting out eggs, cutting out dairy, cutting out, even vegans don't even eat honey. They don't eat anything from animals. So you could try vegan. Maybe you could say, I'm going to do vegan to start 1 day a week. You know what I mean? And then everything else, vegetables or what have you. But try vegan is the advice from Spirit. You need to look into your lungs, check your lungs. And again, drink more water. So whoever's in this pile is not drinking enough water. You need to up your intake of water. Okay. Gut health issues. It looks like you're having gut health issues. So you want to do probiotics and prebiotics. Okay. So you want to they sell probiotics in the store. Pure Probiotics is a product called Kefir, Kefir. They sell it at the supermarket. So you can get that product and, that'll help as a probiotic. Prebiotics are things like kombucha, apple cider vinegar. Those are prebiotics. They are fermented and they also help with your gut health, okay? Eat more greens. So you're not drinking enough water, you're not eating enough greens. That means daily greens. Daily, not like once a week or once every day you should be eating greens, like actual greens, like kale, spinach, broccoli, cucumbers, zucchini, eating more greens every day. They have drinks if you don't want to cut them. It's 2021. I mean, you don't have to sit up there, be chopping and doing all that stuff. You can go to the supermarket and get it already juiced, already done, and delicious, because I use a lot of those myself. The recommendation from Spirit is you may have an allergy to corn. So that's interesting because corn is in a lot of products and that could be affecting your health in a way that you're not even aware of it. So look into it, talk to your doctor about it. Look into the possibility that you may be allergic to corn and you need to start walking more. So I mentioned the walking meditation. You need to start walking more. You need to start walking, say, I'm going to start out by walking 10 minutes a day. Okay. Then up it to 20 minutes. Even if you're just walking around in your house, but start walking more. You want to get yourself, a pedometer and get your steps in. You want to get a goal. Your goal is 10,000 steps. If you make 2,000, great, but at least your goal should be 10,000 steps a day. So start walking more. So let's see what advice from Tarot. We have the Knight of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Okay. Three of Swords is interesting because the reverse of Three of Swords is healing from a heartbreak. But see, again, these are all swords. Swords have to do primarily with our thoughts, the way we're thinking about things. It's not even the actual situation, it's how we're thinking about it, right? So the Three of Swords has to do something that's heartbreaking, okay? I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this. So because my memory's going out, okay? But again, the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords have to do with the way you're thinking about things, right? The Three of Swords has to do with heartbreak, and the Two of Swords has to do with making choices. Just making a choice. There's a choice that you need to make. There's a heartbreaking choice that either you just made or you need to make. And that could be affecting your health as well, which is why you're not getting enough sleep and you're not drinking enough water. You need to make the decision and trust yourself. Trust your inner knowing, your intuition, that you know what's best for you and you know what you need to do. Okay. The Knight of Cups is about emotional. It's basically learning your emotions, learning how to balance your emotions, how to master your emotions. It's not the king, it's not the queen, it's the knight. So you're getting there. You're beginning to understand how you're emotionally made up, but keep working on it, okay? And then we have man holding a heart and woman holding a heart. So this is a couple, okay? This is a balanced, happy, perfect counterpart type of a couple, okay? There's a man holding a heart and there's a woman holding a heart, right? this is what you want. I think this is what you've been thinking about, wanting, yearning. You want this balanced type of relationship. You want this caring. This is about two people who are very caring. They're supportive. They love each other. They're balanced. They are counterparts. They're best friends. They're lovers. They're all aspects of love. Okay. Everything having to do with the heart. Their hearts are equal. They are equal in their hearts. They're equal in what they have to bring to the table. It is balanced. But it doesn't have to be a relationship too. It could also be within yourself. Okay, you need to have this balance with the yin and the yang, the male and the female energy within you that needs to come into balance. Okay, aligned with your heart chakra. Let your heart balance those two energies together, your male and your female, your giving and your receiving energy. Balance those two things together. Okay, so now I'm going to go to pile number 4, which is the yellow succulent. Okay, last but definitely not least, the yellow succulent pile. Okay, so we have the advice is dairy allergy. So we have another dairy allergy, cutting out dairy. Okay, you're allergic to it, so you need to cut out the dairy. Gluten allergy. So this pile has allergies. So you have an allergy to gluten. So look it up. It's in a lot of products. My son has a gluten intolerance. This pile probably has a gluten intolerance. Talk to your doctor about these possibilities. Work on a gratitude list. So this pile needs to focus on being grateful every day. That will create more abundance in your life, and it will help you see the abundance that you already have. So start doing a list of things that you're grateful for every day. Okay. Look into your circulation. You may be having circulation issues where your blood is not circulating properly. A great supplement that I use, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a healer, someone who's into health and wellness, is garlic. Garlic is a good thing to add, but talk to your doctor first, because if you have issues with your blood, you have to be careful with that. Try drinking more herbal teas. Some of the teas I mentioned in the last pile, you have chamomile tea, you have kava tea, you have lemon balm tea, you have hibiscus tea. I mean, there's so many beautiful teas out there. There's just a wonderful selection of teas out there that will obviously help your health more. Okay, so this group needs to cut out white sugar. Yeah, the sugar is a problem, and sugar is not good for any of our health anyway, but it's definitely something you want to look into for this pile. Soak in a tub, light a candle, play some music, do a face mask. So this is the group that needs to do some self-care. Do some self-care items, take a nice hot bath, light a candle, listen to some music, put on a face mask, take care of yourself, love on yourself some. It seems like you probably need it. And you might want to look into hypnosis or hypnotherapy. So your subconscious mind in this group is very powerful. There's some things that are in your subconscious that are affecting your health. So you may want to look into hypnotherapy. There are even some things online that you can look into. There's a lot of hypnotherapists even in your area locally. So you may want to look into that. Practice acceptance, release control. So that's where the gratitude list comes from. Understand that things are out of your control. Sometimes you have to accept things the way that they are. And that gives you so much peace when you do that, when you can just let go of control and surrender it and just know that I can only have control over what I have control over, and what I don't, I'm accepting of it. I'm just going to accept it and make the best of what I got. Massage your feet, reflexology. So reflexology might be something to look into as well. And this group may be spending too much time alone. So find some company. It's saying volunteer, get a pet, join a book club. There's meetups. There's all kinds of Facebook meetups. There's meetups. People of like-minded interests. It's saying that for your mental health and your health and well-being, you need to get some company, some people that are like you. Find your tribe. Okay. Advice from Spirit. Let's do the tarot. The tarot for this is the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands, and Justice. Okay, so wands have to do with fire. So maybe I got some fire signs in this group: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is the beginning of, fire or action or just, passion. And the Knight is, getting closer to mastery of the things that you're passionate about. So maybe you need to find your passion so you can, work to get to this level, or keep doing what you're doing to get to this level, because you're almost there. And Justice. So this is one of my favorite cards. I'm not a Libra, but I love justice, and I love the idea of justice, the balance, the scales balancing, the karma, the kismet. Okay, kismet is my spiritual name. For every cause, there's an effect, and for every action, there's a reaction, right? So you want to try to do the best that you can. Look for justice in your life, and be the justice in your life. Be accountable if you're not being accountable. If someone needs to be held accountable, hold them accountable. If you need to hold yourself accountable, hold yourself accountable. But at the same time, understand that in life you reap what you sow. Okay, that's the advice that I'm hearing for you guys. Now, the fourth chakra, your heart chakra. This group needs to focus on the heart chakra. Heart chakra governs obviously love, opening your heart to love, being loving, not being closed off to giving and receiving love. You can eat more greens, wear more green, the color green. Heart chakra is the color green. It's not pink, even though rose quartz helps. Rose quartz is a great crystal to help with your heart chakra. Of course, all green stones, great help with your heart. Green quartz helps with your heart chakra. Take action to open the door to personal happiness and healing. And take action means volunteer, finding your tribe. Those things are going to help you with some of the issues that you may be having with your health. So that's it for the health and wellness read that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you got some insights that will be helpful for you. I'm wishing you growth, healing, transformation, transcendence, and all those wonderful things. Be sure to check me out on Instagram if you want to DM me. My Instagram handle is at Allison's Cookie. And so it's Allison's, ALLISONS Cookie on Instagram if you want to DM me for anything. If you want to schedule a Reiki session. And check out my website for some great self-care products, www.hopeandcookies.com. Especially if you want to order a nice bath for that soak in the bath, you can go ahead and go on there and place an order. So sending you love, wishing you growth, healing, success, and happiness. Ashe.